Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything, channel Try Anything, so you don't have to. Today we're going to feature a watch from the Casio range, with this one being the F-91W. Now, some people who have subscribed to the channel before will have noticed that I did actually review this watch before, but what I didn't realise at the time, even though I did have an inkling, was that the watch I did review was unfortunately a fake. Now, this watch, hence why I've deleted that video and I've bought a new authentic watch from the likes of Argos, hence why you'll see that sticker there with the actual reference number or Argos catalogue number that they tend to have here in the UK. But what you do get with an authentic watch, you do get this plastic packaging, so just bear that in mind. So what we're going to do in this review, we're going to take it out of the box, unbox it as well, show you what you get in the box. We're going to have a look around the actual watch, so it's like in terms of, you know, the materials that's made out of it, mention a few of the sizes of this watch because it's not the biggest watches in the world, and then what we're going to do is talk to you about some of the functions and also pop it on our wrist so it's like to wear. So just unboxing the Casio is quite an easy affair. I mean, it's not the most hardest of boxes to unwrap. As you can see, there's my receipt from Argos to prove that it is authentic, and there's the actual you do get one of these with the watch, and obviously the box, and obviously what keeps the watch in the box, and the instructions, and you'll have to forgive me, I have opened this before, and obviously like the guarantee as it were. So just popping that aside, this Casio, I mean, with it being the Iconic Casio F-91W, it is more of an everyman's watch. Now the reason being that it is designed by Ryusuke Moriarty. Now he designed this as his first Casio watch, and he had a brief to design something that was small, easy to read, and very durable for the money that this watch is at. And it is a budget watch within the Casio range, and that's what makes this Casio watch very attractive to a lot of people, because it is durable to an extent, not to like G-Shock levels, but it does have some durability to it. It is very easy to read. I mean, there's no complicated display here. It's just the time, the date, and obviously you know, PM and stuff like that, and obviously if there's any alarms activated and such. And also it is cheap. Now this watch I bought from Argos for about £10. You can get it for a bit more on the likes of Amazon, but for the £10 that I paid, you know, you could pop it on your wrist, and if it gets really damaged and stuff like that, you know, in theory you can go and buy another one. So, you know, for that price, it is a popular watch amongst the likes of Barack Obama. Before he became president, he used to wear one of these. You can see it featured in movies by Ripley in Aliens, because obviously it's a watch that was around, if I'm right in thinking, in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And also it is unfortunately a watch that is favoured by terrorists because of its durability, its accuracy, and also it is cheap to buy. And the one other amount of people that do like wearing these watches are people in the army. But it is, to me, I do see this watch as a very kind of everyman's type of watch. You know, it's small enough to fit on nearly all wrists, whether you're a child or an adult or stuff like that. And it is, as I say, with the cost that this watch is at, a lot of people do tend to buy these and add them to their collection. So it is a nice collector's watch. So the actual, as I say, with it being resin, it does have and with it being small, the actual resin case that you do see encompassing the actual module and the dial window, which is an acrylic glass, so it is prone to scratches, so bear that in mind. But Polywatch is your friend on that one. If you ever want to find out more, there is a review listed below. The actual resin case to this watch is about 35.2 millimeters. It does have a thickness, because it's not a very thick watch, it does have a thickness of about 8.5 millimeters. In terms of weight, very light. It is about 21 grams in weight, and it does have a stainless steel back. And if I haven't mentioned it before, it does have a module number of 593, and I have listed instructions, or I have linked to Casio's instructions below, just in case you've lost yours and you want to find out more about how to operate this watch. And there will be an instructional video coming very soon about this watch. Now, as I say, it is water resistant, but it isn't water resistant to any kind of meters. So they do say it's splash resistant, but it's not suitable for showering, bathing, swimming, or any real water activity. So I'd probably keep it away from water, because obviously with it not having like any form of formal meters or anything like that in terms of resistance, then, you know, I would steer away from any kind of water that this watch could be near. And as I say, it just says water resistant there. It does have it is powered by a quartz movement, which has an accuracy of about plus and minus 30 seconds per month, which is great. Now, I have bought the fake one of these, and I bought it without knowing, and what I noticed is that the actual time module, it goes up in it's so inaccurate that, you know, it's well worth buying the actual real deal, as it were. It does also feature an LED backlight, which is a singular green LED just there, and I'll pop the watch to the right and I'll show you like just a little clip of what it's like. Not the best, I'll be honest with you, and it does tend to light kind of the first half of the watch, and I do believe you can make out the second half, but you know, and compared to say the W86 Casio, which is a slightly just a bit like a slightly bigger brother to this, not massively bigger, just slightly bigger brother, which has an electroluminescence display which displays the whole background really vividly, then this watch, you know, the LED's not the best. Now in terms of functions, this watch, again, why I believe it does appeal to a lot of people, it is a simple watch to operate. Now I won't talk about the actual, go in depth about how to operate this watch. There will be instruction, there is the instructions listed below, but I have recorded an instructional video how to use this, so you know the link will appear to it below, or it will feature as the next video after this one. But it does have a certain amount of functions, and the first one being you get an alarm. Now this watch has a daily alarm, and it also features an hourly alarm, so it will always beep on the hour every hour. It also features, let me get back to it, it also features a stopwatch, and this stopwatch will measure time, elapsed time to 100th of a second. It will measure 59 minutes 59 seconds, so you know you can get just under an hour's worth of elapsed time on this, which is very handy if if you do want to measure certain times that are just quicker than 10 seconds or 10 minutes and stuff like that. It's quite handy. And finally, I mean, obviously that's timekeeping mode where you can adjust the hours and stuff like that, and obviously the date and the day. And what's good about this actual display is that you know, you can glean the date straight away from it, and you can also get an idea of the actual date in the month as well, which is very handy. You know, if you just want a quick reference to where you are within the month, and it's very easy to understand. Now it also features 12 and 24 hours by pressing this button here, which is very quick, very easy to do. And I would imagine sometimes you could probably press it by accident, you know, depending on how you move your hand and stuff like that. But as this watch is only small at 35.2 millimeters, as mentioned earlier, I can't see that happening too much. So I'll put that back to 12 hour. And that's it really. I mean, there's not a lot to this watch, and that's probably why, as I say, it's a very popular watch to wear, and very popular watch by, you know, enjoyed by a lot of people, including collectors as well. So, and what I'm going to do now is pop it on my wrist and see what it's like to wear. So as you can see on the wrist, you know, it fits really well. I mean, there's no real kind of, you know, it doesn't bump into you, you know, where the creases of your wrist are, or any kind of backhand movements there. I mean, it is only a very small display, or very small case as such, with it, as I mentioned, being around 35 millimeters. And with it being a thin watch, again, it doesn't kind of protrude that much that you're going to find moving your clothing and stuff like that a chore either. And I would imagine that's what its other appeal is of this iconic watch from Casio, is that a lot of people can wear this watch without any form of issues or any problems, and it is a very easy watch to kind of live with really. And you know, originally my original review of this watch, which unfortunately was a fake one that I didn't realize at the time it was fake, I didn't really like it because I felt it was too small. But 2 years on, and I would say it's a watch that a lot of people can enjoy, and you know, the smaller display, you know, it is still easily readable from a distance, and it is very clear. You know, there's nothing else kind of obscuring the time or the date, or you know, if you've got the alarms activated or anything like that. And that's what I like about this watch, and I do understand why a lot of people do rave on about the Casio F-91W. And if you do get the chance to own this watch, then you know, for the £10 that you probably, or £10 to £15 that you can get this for, you know, it's not going to break the bank, and it will be a watch that, you know, it will be going for years to come. It will probably still be working, even though this strap sometimes does tend to go. But then again, it just depends on how you treat your watches. So watch well worth considering, especially you know, ideal for people who are getting into wearing watches, stuff like that, like children and stuff like that. But for adults as well, I mean, as long as you're not near anything that will make it get wet or anything like that, or any kind of water that would get on it, I would strongly recommend this watch to add to your collection, and a great watch to, you know, knocking about in and stuff like that, and especially a watch that you don't mind getting damaged or anything like that, because it is a very cheap watch to own. So We hope you like the review of the Casio F-91W, and if you did, then click on the like button listed below. And if you want to find out any more or be notified of any more watches being featured on the channel, or instructional videos or other products being reviewed very soon, then click on the subscription button as well. And thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.